Can you hear me?
Hey, how are you, kids? I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm good, Cedric. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you? I know it is quite late for you now.
Oh
Is
yeah.
it? It's like
It,
9 or 10
it's
p.m.?
it's 8:30 in the night.
Oh, well, that's good then. It's not too late. Actually, sometimes I get confused with the time because I'm actually from Mexico City, but I do not live in Mexico City anymore. Now I live more in the north of the city,
Okay.
so it is one hour later. So now
Yeah.
it's 9 a.m. for me, which
Okay.
is perfect. So I think that I'm not interfering in any meeting that you have today with your friends or anything because I know it's going to start the weekend. So
No worries at all. I'm dedicated mostly on the interview, so I'm all good to do the interview.
Okay, perfect. So you're very just to adjust to your time to the time zones of other people, right? Because it is different. So if you want to interview someone in the US or Canada or either Europe, is going to be different time.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Then I don't feel too bad now.
That's good. So, Felix, Adfectus, your second album is to be released on April 29th. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind this new album?
Yes, well, it is actually the third album. The first one is kind of, it's not too large
Yeah.
in difference of the other two, but actually, it is actually an EP. Let's say that, but we have some other EPs which are shorter. So this time, it is very excited for us to make this album because it take more careful for us to in the makeup. Um, Everything about everything from the lyrics to the music. Actually, we started with the music, and most of the times we start with the music. So we wanted to make sure that everything was okay for us, that everything was together, and that all the pieces that we wanted to place, they were all matching between one to each other. It was very good for us to work in that, and once that we have all the music ready, then we started with the lyrics. And actually Carrie, our vocalist, she is the one that always creates the lyrics, but sometimes she involves us in that, and this time was not the exception. And actually we were like more involved, not exactly like writing, but in all the ideas that we wanted to place in that, because once that we had all the music, she had this very very good dynamic that we loved. That was like, how do you feel when you're playing this music for this song, because they have not names in the time. So we just play sometimes some names in the meantime. Well, we know when is going to be the correct name or the final name. And let's say that we have one that was the warrior. We call it like the warrior. How do you feel when you're playing this music? And we were like, well, I feel like something in my chest is like bumping, or maybe I do feel like rage, or I feel good actually, because we have several songs that speak about love. And when I speak about love, is not only love for having a relationship with another person, but also like I'm happy for being living. I'm happy or having all of this that I have around me and surrounding me with good people, etc. You know, it kind of sound a little bit romantic, but it is true. We all feel like that, and metal shouldn't be only like death and words, etc. I know it is the essence of the music, of course, and that's why we like it too, because it is like something uh, part of us, but different, and it's not in our true reality. That's why I think that we enjoy it too. But at the same time, we wanted to play something very real for us, and that's why we call this album Affectus, actually, because it is in Latin, all the feelings, yeah, actually all the feelings. So that's why we wanted to play that, and we took care, excuse me, about all the sounds too, to make it sound as we wanted to. All the guitars, the bass, the drums, we really wanted to feel like you're feeling something in your chest or inside you, you know. And also the voice were more, we took her more of the voice too, to make more melodies and to explore it more. So it was very fun to do it, and we placed all our hearts in there. So
Amazing,
you can tell that.
amazing, amazing. And do you
Thank you,
girls
kids.
have any plans on the day of the release?
Yes, actually, that is going to be next Friday, and it's going to be released in the whole world because we have the lucky that we have our Emancipation, which is our recording label, and we have another in Mexico, which we have been working since 2012. So
Mhm.
we really wanted to keep that deal, and with the permission of Emancipation, then Concreto Records, which is in Mexico, they will release the album here in Mexico. So we're pretty excited to do it globally, and we already have like some pre-sales sold. So that's very nice. And Mexico is going to be. I think that yesterday we just yesterday 21st of April we just had the release of the information also that in Mexico it's going to be released in the same day. So we're hoping that everyone has all versions because we have the vinyl, the LP. We have another one which is going to be the pack in Mexico, and we have the jewel plastic in Europe and the rest of the world. So we're pretty excited for everyone to have all the versions that we have of this album.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. And
Thank
how
you.
is it like to work with Emancipation Productions, being them from Denmark, and how I believe that the music gonna reach far and wide to Europe and to Asia, and it's gonna be reached all over the world. So how do you feel about working along with Emancipation Productions?
We're pretty excited. We're super excited about this because we have reached some places, but it has been a little bit difficult because we had to make all the the shipments by ourselves, and also we were depending a lot from Concreto Records, but they have like more presence only in Spain, and you know the peninsula, and also in America and Latin American mostly. But and also in Japan, because we had lots of sales there in Japan, and it was through Concrete Records. But actually the thing is that we also had to make all these big shipments and all that, and so having Emancipation in Europe is a key for us, so they can take care of everything in Europe, everything in Asia, and all those places. Actually, yeah, the all the rest of the continents, because in America we can do so, and we know that they will support too. But it's going to be easier if we have part of the team in one side and part of the team in the other side. So it's going to be way much easier for us. And in the other hand, we are pretty excited to work with them because we had like more exposure in the side of Europe too, because they have more contacts. They have contacted us with several media that we have not reached before. And also we think that we're having more presence because they already have a name there, and everyone knows them, and they know that I mean, like, people know that they have a lot of bands with big names with them, which that is very helpful for us, you know, that knowing that we have now Denise, this big label. And that's very excited. They were really happy because they also helped us to have this booking agency that has like big names such as Hypocrisy. So it's amazing to work with them, and we know that lots of very good things upcoming to the band. So we're pretty excited and very thankful for that too.
Sounds amazing. And how is the touring plans look for you post release of the album?
Well, at this moment, we have just a few dates. Well, actually, not just a few, because we have one in Canada, and well, we have one tour in Canada, but actually, we're going to start on June the 16th. And I mean, like, we're traveling that day or the 15th. So we're going to start the shows on the 17th. And we're going from all Quebec area to, I think it's going to be only Quebec, and some in it is, oh yeah, Ontario. We're going to Ontario, and from Ontario we're moving to Quebec, and this time unfortunately we're not going to Nova Scotia because it was like very out of our scope, so that's why we couldn't be there, because Halifax is one of the places that we enjoy the most, and people is super warm and lovely with us, and we cannot make it this time. We're gonna have around 11 dates, I think, in 10 or 11 dates, and it was all made by us. Everything were worked by us, only because we didn't have at the moment the booking agency. Now we have it, so we think that we have plans for going Europe next year. Hopefully we can make it. Unfortunately this year, because all the things that are happening around the world, you know, it's like kind of difficult, so we don't want to try to force it a lot. So that's why next year is going to be easier for us, but this time is going to be Mexico only, Brazil. We're going to Septiembre Negro in September, and we're super excited because we have been waiting for this for 2 years and it was postponed. So now that we're going finally in September, we'll hopefully, it's going to be amazing too. So we're just having Canada, Mexico, Brazil.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And talking about the album again, 8 tracks of awesome death metal, lot of grind and superpower. The energy from you girls are totally amazing. I totally enjoy this album as a complete album. It's really wonderful. Great job from you guys again. And as a band, how do you feel about the outcome of this album?
We feel like it's the new baby coming, you know. It's We have been waiting for it for so long, because there is like a lot of riffs that we have kept there and we haven't used it. And then also the composition was different and it was challenged a lot, because you know that because of pandemic we had to work in distance, so it was challenging, but it was pretty nice to work on that. And actually I think that we really enjoyed the process. So it makes us feel like we have more time to think about what do we want it to be sound like,
Mhm.
and also what we wanted to the people feel when they hear it, because this is way more personal than the other albums. As mentioned before, the lyrics are more more personal. They are more involving feelings that we have not talked before, because in the other albums we talk about general emotions, and we were more like in the fantasy of the death metal, you know. And this time we just decided that because it was like so kind of shaky for us, everything that happened around the world, that we say we really want to make this personal and make it just as we are, actually. Because I mean, like, it doesn't mean like in the other albums you do not hear what we are, of course, but this is like more us, more real, more how do we feel when we are angry, when we're in love, when we are disappointed, when we are in the top of the happiness, that how do we feel realized about everything, you know. So I think that we are very happy for that, and we feel like a new baby is coming, because we are waiting for it with much love and a lot of expectation. We don't know how people will react, but at the moment we have like very good feedback from people that have heard that before, so they can make the reviews and everything before the album comes. So we're pretty excited. We're pretty excited, and we really hope to reach some other places. And we hope that Emancipation is happy also with the result of this work that we have been together, because they have such a great team. And actually, I must say that for this album, and I didn't say that before with the question that you already asked about the album, that we work not only in between us, the fourth of the band. But once that we finish, of course, all the composition and all that is ours. But once that we have finished and when we recorded, we had one engineer. It's Bunny. He likes to be called Bunny, and so we worked with him. He recorded, mastered, and everything. And then we worked with Martin Furia from Destruction. So he helped us to make another master. He made some other changes. He made a little production before the post production. after we finished all doing everything. So he gave a different sound that we really wanted. So we worked with him to find out, but actually he was the mastermind to reach that. And also Prica Amaral from Nervosa were involved in the album with the reamp of the guitars. So we were lucky enough to have them in our team, and they really make the sound to make it bigger. And I always say that it sounds like thick for me, like involving thick. I don't know how to describe that, but it sounds to me like that. So it was really amazing how we could reach that, and we're also super happy for that because we have these big figures and characters in our team now, and we're really happy for that. So we're lucky.
Sounds great. Sounds great, Cedric. And the history of the band goes way back to 2009. So how has the road been for you girls so far?
I know we are old now, and we were just as young in that moment, and we really just wanted to play and have fun playing. So at the moment, that's why we sometimes feel that we spend or waste so much time in that, but we don't like to say actually waste because we knew what we want in that moment. We just wanted to have fun and to rehearsal and have a party in our rehearsal in that moment and have a good time, have a good time. And then when we just realized that it was a good time for us starting getting this serious, then it's when we started to be more disciplined and to start with the rehearsals with more to worth more, just to have a better quality time of that. And then we started to have more compositions and to work better in the sound and to know better our instruments and everything. So when we started doing that, we had like more opportunities. Then the shows came in better way. So we weren't playing only like I mean like we have never think that in the places that we played before they were not worth it. Of course, everything summarizes and we love that, and everything has been amazing for us. But we just had a higher levels, and it was super cool for us because then some people watch us and they wanted to take us to another concert or for being openers for some bands, etc. That's the way actually we met Nervosa, because we went in the backend opener battle in Mexico. We had the third place in that moment, and then we met the manager of Nervosa, and then we played with Nervosa. We had the manager. Then we went to Canada for the first time because of that. Then I think that we knew suffocation
Mhm.
then, and then we have the opportunity also to play with them and with atheist and with some other bands, and then we were to the Space Icon with Beyond Creation and festival, etc. And then in Mexico we were in Mexico Metal Fest, which is one of the biggest festivals in Mexico of metal. So we played with Emperor. I mean, like among other bands, among other big bands. So that's why we just realized, like, if we should start doing this before, like way before, it will be better. But everything comes under good
Yeah,
time. So that's
definitely.
that's how we have been growing. But like making mistakes, and we are like very we have lots of feelings sometimes, and we are very uh, uh, um, mm, we thought a lot with heart instead of our minds or our brains. And then sometimes we just had some elements in the band that they may not help us to grow earlier as we wanted to. And we were like, oh no, she's gonna change, or oh no, she's my friend, and all that. And then we change our minds and we say, like, no, this is not the way that a band should be. It should be like any work. Every work has the rules which have to be respected, and to follow a process and to follow a goal. And we have to make a process to follow that goal and reach it. And that's the way that we just growed when we started to take decisions and being a little bit tough, but that's the way it is, and that's the way we can reach things. And we just did it, and we feel like we are in a very good position now. We have a great, excuse me, lineup, and we're very happy with that.
Amazing, amazing. And what would be the biggest dreams for the band?
Excuse me.
What would be the biggest dreams for the band?
Oh, yes. Well, actually, I think that we will say we had one that maybe we won't reach this year, but we really wanted to play with Cannibal Corpse here in Mexico. But unfortunately, on those times, our guitar player is living now in Montreal, so she's going to be there busy. And unfortunately, I'm going to be also, well, fortunately, but unfortunately, I'm going to be in Europe in that time. So we cannot be there. And that was one of the biggest dreams we had. So hopefully we can do it next year, or we don't lose that hope. But I think that also being in Europe,
Mhm.
being in any festival in Europe, or just being in Europe is going to be a dream come true. And being in Japan too, I think. That's one of the main targets we always wanted to be in. And, just cross overseas. I will say that. I don't want to say any particular country, but you just want to be overseas because it is a dream come true to go to more north of the America where we live. And going to Brazil is also such a big come true. So I think that's one of our main dreams by this moment.
Amazing, amazing. And would you like
Thank
to
you.
share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
Yes. Well, actually, I will say that coming along with this question of one of the dreams, we have been making some of our dreams come true. And the first place is like having one album in your hands, of course. But I will say that also a big dream will be for being touring with one of the bands that we love the most. Like we have been playing, as mentioned before, with Suffocation, and now we're gonna play with them again and with the Atheist in Canada in June. But like touring is way more different than only having one show. So I think that touring with their bands will be something really cool for a dream, and that's one of the main goals that we have reached to. I think that one of the biggest moments for us was like playing in Canada in Traribia Metal Fest,
Mhm.
which we played with Jungle Rot, the Space Icon, and they just gave us such a great feedback. And I remember when we were in there, and the vocalist of Jungle Rot tell us like it was such a great job, and you're going with the right path, etc. So we were like amazed in that, and there was like some kind of survey in there, like which were the best band you like it, or which or you think that it was the best band in the show. And among all these big bands, lots of people say that it was Introtyl. They really enjoy it, and we felt like very honored because of that. And that was one of the biggest moments too for us. I will say that also playing in Mexico Metal Fest was amazing because it was one moment. This is my own experience, but I was playing there and I was on the stage and I couldn't see where all the crowd finished. I just saw like lots of people, and I couldn't see where it finished. It was amazing for me because there was a lot of people, and we were not in the main stage. We were in the side stage, which was amazing because it was a lot of people, and we had like a lot of followers since then too. And that's amazing. I think that also reach um people hearts, and that they go and say to you like, oh, I love your music and I have this, or I see you playing here and I love it. And sometimes when we have this reach with the people that they are in Bangalore, or
Yeah,
they are in Taiwan, or there, it's like amazing for us. And that's also it's such a big goal for us that we have reached now, and we feel very very lucky to have that. So thanks so much.
amazing, amazing, Sajid. And what would be the message that you want to give to your fans around the world?
Well, first of all, to take care of yourselves, because we have been passing through these very, very hard times. And I know that we had very hard moments with our families and with our friends. And it still keep going, not only because of the virus, but we know that some things are happening politically now in the countries that are affecting everyone in the world, not only those countries. I mean, like they have the toughest moments, but I will say that take care of ourselves and being in the moment and enjoy everything you have around you, because I know that sometimes we could feel like we are alone. We could feel like no one is there for us, but there's someone in the world that is for you. And so don't feel alone. And we always will have our music too. There's a lot of music in the world that could be with us. So I will say that that could save us too. Well, that first thing, I know that it could sound cheesy or corny, but I think that is something real too. And the other thing will be like we really, really appreciate what you always do for us. We really appreciate that you're purchasing our albums and follow us in the social media, and we will try to make the best work as we can to make you feel proud of what we're doing. And we hope you really like our music. We do it with our hearts. We do it with lots of effort. So we really want you to like our music. Thanks so much for all the support always.
Amazing. And thank you so much for such a beautiful message for the fans around the world. And
Thanks, Keith.
Serious, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to meet you and have this wonderful interview with you. It's a real pleasure to talk to you. And thanks to you and the entire band for the amazing music that you've been doing for the metal fraternity. We all keep enjoying your music. And thanks for this amazing album, Ad Factors, which is coming up on April 29th. We're all looking forward for the release and hope to see you guys on the road real soon. And I wish you and everyone in the band all success and happiness.
Thank you so much, Keith. It was a really pleasure to meet you, and thanks so much for the space and for your time, because I really, really appreciate the time of the people. So I really appreciate yours and for having this opportunity. And thanks, everyone. And I'm sorry because I speak a lot, but imagine if I speak a lot in English, which is not my home language, imagine in Spanish how do I speak. So thanks so much, everyone, and thanks so much, Kit. It was such a pleasure.
It's my pleasure, Sarix. Take care of yourself and you have a wonderful day ahead.
You too. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.